Evelyn's okay. I did that one. Gin Juice. Don't forget that Wiggins said that he moved her from the game room to the living room because they was about to cook. That's right. My question is, why put her on the floor, Wiggins? Staging the scene, perhaps? Yeah. I know, to comply with the lie that he told us, right? So everything would be believable. And I believe that's why they were doing this whole drinking game and making the video of them at dinner with the drinking. So when they told, everybody about the alcohol poisoning, it'll be more believable because it was like, look, here we at the dinner. Right? Everybody, come on, put the drinks up. Woohoo! Yeah, yeah, that's how we do it. We just drink. Woohoo! Yeah, yeah, yeah. And notice, it was only two people speaking during that time. It was a male, and then we heard Shanquella, agreeing with woohoo, drink, right? Everybody else, they was quiet, and even in their faces looked like, they had some business plan. They had something that they was thinking about for later use. Like, it did not look like they were there to have fun. It seemed like they already knew what they came there for, because it's an eerie feeling that I get every time I watch that video. Every time I watch it, it's very eerie because you can see that, she doesn't even know that she is in the lion's den. She is in the lion's den. See, then that tells me that there are two videos of the attack. Okay. And see, Scarlett says, look at the position of the arms with the fist coming towards Shanquella Robinson. Yeah. Yeah. It was said, hello, RN in chat. Hey, La Jessica, what's going on? All right. And our member Beverly here has some special features on her name now. There is no way that they expected Shanquella to fly back to the States after beating her like that. Exactly. That's why I was saying it had to be planned, because there is no way how we flying back together. What? How? What? I'm not going to tell on you? I'm just going to just be, oh, okay, I had it coming. Like what? How do we get past this? How do we get past the fact you waking me up naked and attacking me in front of everybody, and you had your cameras out and you was talking crap? How? How are we? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Robin, hello, Robin, and welcome. Robin said, would Dejanay have felt the break when it happened? I'm going to say yes, right? I don't know. Have you? Okay, so a chicken, right? Sometimes you get the chicken. Chicken is whole chicken. You gotta cut it up. I don't know if you've ever had to, hack up a chicken, right? Because you get them cheaper when you buy the chicken whole, right? And you cut it up, and you get 2 wings, 2 legs, a couple thighs, and you slice it up, right? So sometimes when you're trying to carve it, before you master that skill, you may have broke it a little bit, right? You felt that. Yeah, you feel that. I would say yes. And then when she continued to punch and knee her head, she had to have felt how loose and pliable it was, since she had detached it. And I think that's why she was like, get up, like, what I mean? Like, oh, this is something, I wasn't expecting this, but yeah, I would say yes. Project Educate. All right. Okay. Says you need to analyze. You're talking about you in your job. These are 5 people who are panicked, and I totally disagree. And I believe they changed her clothes. You are off the mark. I'm off the mark. Okay. I saw her fall to the floor or be slung to the floor naked. She was naked, right? You're telling me to believe something that I haven't seen. So how am I off the mark? I have 2 eyes and I have a brain. I know what I saw. So anybody who comes to me with delusional thinking and expect me to change my mind to believe something that's not visible, that's not here, to believe some delusional thinking, can go kick rocks. Go Kick Rocks. Shadow says, Mary, you talking about when Deja Nay swing Shanquella around right side of the bed. Thus, Shanquella Robinson lands in a straddled position. Yep. Let's see. Marine says how she feels like a puppet. How she feel like a puppet would be without strings. Yes, screams to me that this poor girl begun to start her decline as her motor skills ceased. Heartbreaking to see her poor family. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Melanie Hart says there was nothing feminine about Dejanay's stance. Yeah, it looked like a fighting stance to me. And yeah, nothing feminine about any of those movements. Thanks again for your membership. Rhonda says that was a big fat lie. So sister says, who is they? If the 5 of them left already. I missed something there. Evelyn says no screaming, like they were enjoying it. Yeah, that was so sad too. Like nobody, thought this was too much, or nobody was like, what are you doing? Stop trolling, Project Educate. Thank you, Beverly C. Are you a moderator? Make sure Beverly is a moderator here. Where am I at on this here? And I thank all my mods too. Thank y'all so much for keeping the chat safe and, make sure we getting about these bullies and all these trolls from harassing us. Beverly. Yes, okay. You have been knighted as a moderator. Go forth with the wrench and do the job. Do the thing there. All right, thank you, Beverly. All right. And Narrative says, oh, yes, my first member. Let's support RN and get those thumbs up. Thank y'all so much to see here. Yeah, we're kind of short on the thumbs, only 163 likes. More, please. Baby Sis says, as Soul Sister, I'm just curious, how do you know this about Shanquella's sister? Do you know them? I'm curious about why all of a sudden people are saying ugly things about the family. Exactly. These are more distractions and stuff like that. And the people that are saying this are the wicked people and stuff. Because they're trying to get us to get distracted about the truth. And what is the benefit of saying something ugly about the family? Yes, super sad. And Tanika says, yes, let's leave the family alone. Exactly. And that's not what we do over here. We are about facts, science, and math. And we can give our opinions on that with facts. Let's see. All of them must have videoed the whole night partying. This has got to be found and can only be obtained via warrant. This is very difficult process with 2 different countries with different legalities. Exactly. You are so right. You're so right. And we do know from the Nancy Grace interview that the FBI, has subpoenaed for these IP addresses. It's just a matter of time before they, be able to put all this stuff together. It should be anyway. I'm hoping. Oh, excuse me. Gin Juice, you quiet. Says trolls are like roaches tonight. Don't worry, we got them, sis. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because this, thing is happening fast and new too. So, just grateful that that we building this community together and we building it really with love and respect, and that's how we get down. So all you trolls that's coming over here trying to give a hard time, y'all got to deal with my beauties and beautifuls. Ain't gonna let this stuff happen. So y'all can just keep on trolling on someplace else and get on up out of here. Let's see here. Lila, and who were they recording for? Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, it feels like it was some type of ritual or something. And here's the proof. It was almost like, I don't know if y'all see that movie Blade. I think it came out like the early 2000s, and Wesley Snipes played in it. Anyway, There's one scene when they take the one vampire who was born a vampire, take him out to the beach before the sunrise, and then they all, put on their little mask to dispose of him. It felt like that to me. It just felt like it was some type of a ritual. Like they had all come together to figure out how they were going to delete the one, senior vampire guy, and they took him out to the beach and wait for the sun to rise up, and of course he was destroyed. But anyway, that's what it felt like to me, because the whole everything that seemed so staged, like they already knew they were gonna get rid of her and blame it on alcohol poisoning. That's why they had to have the parties that night and had to play the drinking game and stuff, so it can be the proof. Be like, see, we're just having too much fun, and she just went too far, Yeah. And see, Tanika says that Jen Juice the Roach is trolling. Yes. Yes. All right. Okay. So let me scroll down. Did I? Oh. Hey. Okay. I think, how did that happen? All right. Michelle, new member. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. Hey, Connie. Connie McIntosh says, when she slung her around and Shanquella sat on the floor, that's when her neck broke and she didn't move again. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's all we need to know, y'all. We saw the video. So the rest of this whole little stuff that, they saw the tooth fairy over there, and then Santa Claus was actually on the roof with Rudolph and all. This is all make-believe stuff. It's all make-believe. Make-believe stuff that, yeah. Hey, what's up, Auntie Mo? Ain't seen you in a little minute. Says that's what most people do when they're in a fight. They gather and record instead of trying to stop it. So sad. These young people today, there is these new generation folks that what do you call it? Star World, what is it? World Star, and all kind of stuff on there. Yeah. Let's see. Jinju says, Tanika tells, I've got my raid out for these roaches in the chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, spray them up. Get them up out of here. Turn the lights on. Sharon Robinson says, Shanquella moved her left arm after she had been slung. Do you think Shanquella's neck was broke at that time? Yes. And it wasn't just her left arm. The movement y'all saw after, her neck was broken, there's signals that's still firing off, right? That, but the message now has been severed. So the movement that you saw was just the residual that was as the system started to shut down, right? So it wasn't a purposeful move. It's just reflex. And you saw that actually both of the hands kind of moved almost like a marionette, like a marionette puppet. Like, it was being controlled like that. You saw her hands kind of move up like that, like a robot almost, very mechanical. Yeah. So those were that was neurological movements, residual movements from the signals. Thank you, Sharon. That's a great question. Let's see. We got you, Aaron. Thank you so much, Nair. I appreciate it. I love my beauties and beautifuls. Thank y'all so much for having my back. Yes. All right. So do we have time for one? Oh, yeah, it's still early. How is this happening here? It's really early still. And Maureen says, baby sis, I hope at least one of them come forward with data. It will fill in the gaps for Quilla's family and the justice system. I'm sure Mexico do plea deals like the U.S. They do not. That's what we've heard, that they don't. They don't do no plea deals like the U.S. or something similar. Yeah, they don't. And their system is so sad and, backwards, I don't know. I still just don't believe that they are going to do anything about it. Why? Soul Sister says, I am 60 years young, ER nurse, and can peep all of the game as well as in life. Yes, exactly. Because with age comes wisdom. So shout out to my Gen Xers, because we was part of that, part of the group here. We are the test kids for the for the how everything is here. We were the young people that didn't have the babysitters and stuff. We grew up in a time when we didn't have laws protecting us. If you wanted to beat the hell out of your kids, you was free to do that, and nobody could do nothing because them your kids. And if you want to beat the hell out of your kids, that you go for it. And I guess it was kind of like that too with wives and women. All right, let's see here. And Michelle says she wasn't gonna fight that strength back at all. Yeah, you try to just be as sensible as possible. Thank you, Michelle. Let's see here. Rhonda said, just a thought. Is it possible that Dejanay gave life-threatening injuries? Then doctor came along, gave 15 CPR sessions, 2 shocks, called Shanquella's expiration? No, because we know that the death, the autopsy or the death certificate, the cause of death, the examiner, right, said that those injuries she received, and the life expectancy after receiving that injury is 15 minutes. So it's impossible that the doctor who admitted to coming an hour afterward, to get there, would have been able to, Shanquella would have already been expired. She was already expired 15 minutes afterwards. So all this stuff there about CPR or lies. And then the other thing, the way you know that it's a lie is that, okay, so the doctors aren't walking around with CPR drugs in their pocket, right? No one is. No one's walking around with CPR drugs in their pockets, right? Doctors aren't walking around with IV start kits in their pocket, right? They said they attempted an IV. Where did they get these supplies from? You can't just, how do you start an IV with no supplies, right? No one's walking around with IV supplies on them and emergency medications, right? It's not happening, right? So these are all lies, part of the cover-up, right? Part of the cover-up. So none of this was done. None of this was done. What you saw when she was slung over, you saw how she sat up, looked like, a stuffed animal, how she just sat there, didn't fall out or nothing like that, because she was, back was all broken up. So just how she just sat just like this, head hanging down to her chest. She didn't move. She didn't move because she is paralyzed, right? If she had been knocked out, she would have slumped over. She would have fallen over. It's a different, the way the body, the muscles and the nerves, all that stuff shuts down like that. When she flopped down like that, just the look of her shows you that something was horribly wrong. She didn't move. She didn't move at all. Didn't fall over or nothing. She was there. And that's why I believe the first story, when they said the maid said she found Shanquella sitting on the floor in her room in the same position that we last saw her in. That makes more sense to me because we saw her not moving. We saw her not moving. Sean says, you troubles, stay under the tug. Okay, I messed that one up. Sorry. All right. Thank you. Hey, Cookie says trans. Wait a minute. I just got here. Can't wait to watch this on the rewind. Yeah, we was pretty heavy on that too. And we showed y'all the pelvis and all that good stuff. I'm just gonna show it one more time real quick here since we got some new people in. The difference between the male and the female. So we'll know, because a lot of people had issues with it, feeling like, that it wasn't a fair fight. And it's not a fair fight if, somebody was an XY chromosome, because here, look at here. This is the pelvis. This is the way you're able to tell the difference between a male and the female. And this is how they tell when they find skeletal remains in the field, if it was a male or a female. The male skeleton, the pelvis. This is the two things that separate us from male and female, because females are designed to carry babies, men are not. So you can see there's not much space in this here area here, and that's why the men will have a more flatter abdomen. Even a female that hasn't had a baby will still have this tilt. See this pelvic tilt? You have to, it's like a bucket, right? So the baby can stay inside, it won't fall out. That's why it's tilted. So a female, even if she has had no children, will still have kind of a poochy tummy because of the tilted pelvis, right? You see this big circle here, this 10 centimeters. This is why the cervix has to dilate 10 centimeters to let the baby pass through, rather. And see, look at this. See how smooth this is, right? Because the baby's got to be in there. Baby can't be in this. Look at this. Point, point, point. Bing, point, point. That's not comfortable. Look at there. See there? See? That's not designed to keep a baby in there. There's no space. Look at there. It's all prickly and rough and hard. Look at that. See these angles? Angles. Men have angles. Women, we have curves. See that? Circles and curves. See that? See how smooth that is? And that's because this here back has to have an S shape to it, so it supports the balance so we can walk when we're pregnant and don't fall over, right? Big old, especially you get up there and, you know, getting ready to deliver. See? And that's why our gait is different, because see this tilted pelvis, right? See that? Right, we have that little arch in the back like that. So that is the difference right there. And that's how you can tell. So if you take hormones and you get fat deposited here, it's going to be up high, right? Female, see, look how low these hips are. See there? This where the, see there? It's different. Okay, so that's how that goes there. And that's the difference between the female and the male pelvis. So thank you, whoever that was coming in here late.